much for that introduction. He really talked me up, and now I don't know what you guys are expecting. So I will try to do justice to those words. My name is Salman Hijazi, and I am a self-taught engineer. But I'm very excited to be here today, not only because this is one of the best conferences that happen in Pakistan. Shout out to the volunteers, the organizers, you've done a wonderful job. But also because it attracts a crowd as amazing as you guys. I've had the fortune of meeting some of you, and mostly just looking at people, and I can tell that there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of hunger for knowledge here. But the most important thing is why I'm actually here. I have been anticipating this moment for a few days because I get to talk about a topic which is my favorite, that is artificial intelligence. But before we start, there's a few rules that I'm going to set. The first, this isn't exactly a lecture. So I'm not going to teach you to code stuff. I think you've had enough of that so far, yeah? Okay, so this isn't a lecture. This is more of me trying to inspire you guys to do something. We're going to start now, and at the end of the talk, I'm going to ask how many of you were inspired. Nahi bhi hoye to haath khade kar lena, mera din acha jayega. But in any case, before we start, I like to get to know my audience a little. So I'm going to ask a bunch of questions, and if those questions apply to you, just raise your hand. Simple enough? Can everybody just raise their hand right now? Awesome, thank you. So what I tend to do with these questions is basically try to find a group of people who I will be interested in over the course of this talk. So first of all, how many of you are human beings? Wow, so there's a lot of natural intelligence in this room. That's good. Now, so how this goes on from now, that if a question doesn't apply to you and you don't raise your hand, do not participate in the next question, okay? Does that make sense? All right, so my next question, how many of you are associated with the tech industry, where you're either studying or working on something related to computers or technology? Okay, so a little bit narrowed down. All right, how many of you have heard, researched, or worked on something related to artificial intelligence? Wow, okay, pretty good. How many of you from have actually developed a product in using artificial intelligence and produced that sound? Oh, sorry. And produced a result that solved a problem. Okay, fine. So it's important, before we can set in a definition for artificial intelligence, we first need to understand what is intelligence. Now, this is a difficult question. There's no right answer. There's no one sentence that can encompass everything. But we're still going to try. So, what is intelligence? Now, if I was to channel this famous Supreme Court judge from the United States, using his words, I would say that intelligence is like pornography. It's very difficult to explain, but you know what it is when you see it. So intelligence is very difficult to explain. But for the course of this talk, I'm going to set out a statement so that we have this in our mind as we move forward. Now, this definition is my definition. You may disagree. That's okay. Your professor may have said something else, or the internet may have said something else. Don't slit my throat over it. It's just for this talk. So intelligence is the ability to gain knowledge and then use it to make decisions. Does that make sense to everybody? Can we all agree with this for now? Okay. Now, when we say artificial intelligence, based off of just this, what we do is basically give this to a machine, right? So if you just add a machine into the mix, when a machine is provided with knowledge, so that it can use that knowledge to make decisions. Does that somewhat encompass artificial intelligence for you guys? If anybody disagrees, you have 10 seconds to challenge me. Okay, great. That was easy. So, why do we need machines to make decisions for us? Now, the biggest question that comes around, I know all of you people have heard this buzzword of artificial intelligence somewhere or the other, किसी talk में, किसी article में. It's a big word that's thrown around, especially in the startup culture. जिस चीज़ को चार चांद लगाने उसके साथ AI थोप दो. Because it's the big buzzword right now. But why is it so attractive? Why is everybody jumping on this word? कि artificial intelligence जहाँ पे आ गई है, suddenly it just makes everything better. The question is, why do we need artificial intelligence to make decisions for us? Now, the human mind is actually a limitation. आजकल के दौर में जिस तरह डेवलपमेंट हो रही है, जिस तरह पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है, जिस तरह टेक्नोलॉजी इवॉल्व हो रही है, हम लोग सारे आईटी के लोग हैं, हम एक दिन एक चीज़ मास्टर करते हैं, कल को दूसरा पैच आ जाता है, सब कुछ चेंज हो जाता है. Not because it's a problem, but because it's growing, it's evolving, it's getting better. So for us to keep pace, we have to continuously update ourselves. But the human mind is the actual limitation to this, कि eventually इंसान वो सारे काम नहीं कर सकता. A very simple example. There was actually this farmer जो खीरे का farm था उसका. And जब वो जब उसकी produce आता था, so उनको sort करना पड़ता था by size, by color, by different variables. वो खुद जब करते थे तो उनको बहुत टाइम लग जाता था. Obviously manual labor एक एक उठा के सारा कुछ वो करना. अब ये उसकी अपनी फैमिली को, उसके अपने वर्कर्स को हफ्ते लग जाते थे. But this is a problem that you can solve with artificial intelligence. Is that right? Can you all imagine how it works out? So I don't need to go into it. Okay. So, one, who is the, आप सबके mind में, who is the smartest person ever to have lived? Speak up, guys. Einstein? Yeah, okay. Well, that's a stretch. But who is the smartest person ever to have lived? Ever? Okay, interesting. But mostly I heard Albert Einstein. Now, this is another topic for some other time, but none of those answers are potentially right. Because that's a conversation that you can have with me after the talk. But since I knew that most of you will going to say Albert Einstein, I put Babaji ki picture here. Now, this guy is understood to be the smartest person to have ever lived. He could just whip up formulas that solved everything, right? Now, let's picture his intelligence and compare that to everybody else. So if I was to draw a chart where I make it so, this is just an assumption that this is, by the way, it's being covered by my own idea. This is knowledge. So the more knowledge you have, the more intelligent you get. Can you all agree with that? Does somebody want to contradict this? Okay, so, yeah. Imagination is important, okay. But even for imagination, like if I tell you to imagine, how would you imagine it? Quickly. Big eyes, tentacles, whatever, antennas, right? How did you get about that imagination? By watching something or by observing something. So basically, your imagination is also empowered by knowledge. If I was to tell you to imagine a color that you cannot make out of red, blue, or green, or red, blue, or yellow, whatever the basic three colors are, can you imagine a color? That's a composition of two colors, right? Blue and red makes purple. You can't imagine something without having prior knowledge. So based off of that, knowledge basically empowers intelligence. So if we were to just plot different things on this graph, that's a chicken. Doesn't really care for much, so it's like at the very bottom, right? Doesn't really care for much, just eats, lays eggs, dies for our table food. That's us. You see, I put us very far away from the chicken, so that's something to be proud of. But if we were to put the most intelligent person ever, he would be somewhere over here, right? Can we imagine somebody smarter than him? Probably not. That's why this graph ends here. But, sorry? Okay. But for a computer, this graph keeps on going. Because the more a computer gains knowledge, the smarter it gets. Right? Yep. Computer ko bhi? Of course, yeah. So, आपने मेरी definition में देखा था, when a machine is provided with knowledge, हम provide करते हैं knowledge, right? That's why it's artificially intelligent. अगर naturally intelligent होती तो उसकी intuition kick in हो जाती, जहाँ पे वो खुद, अब जिस तरह for example car accident, if you drive straight into a wall, will you die or not? Assuming you're not wearing seat belts और पाकिस्तानी गाड़ी airbags नहीं है, सीधा आप दीवार में जाके आपने गाड़ी मार दी, you will die, right? For us to know that we will die if we crash a car into a wall, we don't need to do it 100 times over, because we have an intuition that this is what's going to happen. But for a machine, give it this example the very first time, it wouldn't know. उसको नहीं पता होगा जब तक उसको पता हम नहीं बताएंगे कि if you crash a car into the wall, you will probably die. So we provide that information, and if we continue providing that information, the computer gets smarter. Yes? Yeah. हाँ जी? Of course, लेकिन storage तो peanuts की cost पे है यार. मतलब आजकल storage is not even a problem. Exactly. That is something that I'll come to. But like generally, this is the narrative that computers basically eliminate the boundaries that the human mind puts on things. Like हम एक वक्त में बहुत ज़्यादा 2-3 काम कर लेंगे. The human brain is capable of doing 3 tasks simultaneously with good efficiency. 14 काम डालो, मतलब आप गाड़ी चला रहे हो, texting कर रहे हो, साथ burger खा रहे हो. That's about it. You can't do anything else because your brain is limited. So how exactly is AI helping? Artificial intelligence is basically helping by removing these boundaries for people. जो इंसान के दिमाग की limitations हैं, वो ये technology उन limitations को ख़त्म करती है. By processing information faster, by making decisions faster. For example, if I give you 1,000 pictures and I tell के आपसे मैं कहता हूँ कि इसके अंदर से cats सारी वो करें. आप हर एक picture को बारी-बारी देखेंगे, it'll take you time, right? एक picture उठा के रखी, ये वो blah blah. But for a computer, it's much faster because जितनी देर में आप शायद 4-5 pictures देखोगे, computer आपको results दे देगा. So AI helps in speeding things up for us. हमारी daily life में, like think of your smartphones. पहले आपको text लिखने पड़ते थे, अब आप Google से कहते हो, Siri से कहते हो, आपका text लिखा जाता है, send हो जाता है. Alarm sets करना, you know, all of these things. AI is around us everywhere and it's already improving our lives. But इसकी applications are up to your imagination. आप किसी भी situation में artificial intelligence को apply कर सकते हो. So, I have a question for you guys. You know, a lot of people say that artificial intelligence, maybe बल्कि यही बोल रहा हूँ कि artificial intelligence is the future. How many of you disagree that artificial intelligence will not take over the world one day? How many of you disagree? It's okay, you can. Okay, 1, just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's like 5-6 people who completely disagree that artificial intelligence will take over. Now I need one of you guys to come up on stage. Anybody? Those who raise your hand, just one person. Come on. So basically what I'm going to do here is I've designed a little experiment to demonstrate how artificial intelligence is better than the human brain. He's coming up on stage, but that doesn't mean you all are not a part of the experiment. All of you will participate. Assalamu alaikum. क्या नाम है आपका? Sohail. Sohail, thank you so much. Can you please just stand here, it's fine. Acha, so what I've done is, one of the applications of artificial intelligence is security, right? हम लोग जितनी बड़ी organizations को देखते हैं, जिनके security cameras लगे होते हैं, हर जगह भरे होते हैं, right? उनके पीछे क्या होता है? एक control room होता है, जहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग बैठ के monitor screens को देख रहे होते हैं. आप लोगों को इसमें कोई flaw नज़र आता है? इस पूरे control room के setup में? अगर 50 cameras हैं, या चलो 20 cameras लगे हुए हैं, right? Somebody has to sit and watch each and every single screen to see if something is going wrong. So I've designed an experiment जिसमें we are going to detect a gun. ठीक है, हमारी एक जगह पे cameras लगे हुए हैं and उस vicinity के अंदर एक बंदा आ गया gun लेके. अब हमारे सोहेल साहब जो हैं AI को challenge कर रहे हैं. तो Sohail will be up against our AI and you guys will also participate. So in just a minute, Sohail, can you turn around? You'll have to watch the screen. If you can sit down, if you don't mind, that will be great. वरना आप उधर नीचे भी बैठ सकते हो. Okay. So you will see a screen like this when I play this. It's a 10-second video clip. There's 20 cameras. 20 camera streams हैं, 10 सेकंड के लिए ये चलेगी और 10 सेकंड में ये सारी streams चलेंगी. आप सब ने इसके अंदर गन ढूंढनी है. गन ढूंढनी है आपने. अभी तो हाँ कहाँ है गन? अच्छा चलो वो उसको फिलहाल skip कर दो. Okay, skip number 2 for now. So basically you guys have to, huh? That's the same one. So skip 2 and 19 for now. ठीक है? This is a screenshot. The actual footage might be different. So any case, आप लोगों ने चलो 2 और 19 के अलावा आप लोगों ने gun ढूंढनी है. ठीक है? I'm gonna play it for 10 seconds. And जो gun देख लेगा, just remember the camera number. Don't say it out. We're just gonna have a say by count by the raised hands. आपने सारी देखनी है क्योंकि आप AI से तेज हैं ज़्यादा. तो सबसे पहले हम आपसे सवाल पूछेंगे. All right, are you guys ready? I think I'm ready. Yeah. Okay. How many of you could spot a gun 19 के अलावा? One? Really? किस में देखी? नहीं आप तो आगे बैठे. आपने किस में देखी है? 7 में. 7 और 11. ठीक है. आपने? 11. टोटल कितनी गन्स थी? 2 उनको नजर आई हैं. ठीक है. अब इस ऑडियंस में आप देखें कितने लोग बैठे हुए हैं. जिन लोगों को गन नजर आई थी हाथ ऊपर करें. So is it safe to say that about 10% or less? Yeah. आपको गन्स कितने में नजर आई थी? नहीं उनके सुनने के बाद या पहले? पहले 7 और 11. 7 में गन नहीं थी. 11 में गन थी. We're just gonna watch it when it runs through and so guns were actually in 11 and 18. So आपको जो 7 में नजर आया, thank you so much. आप बैठ सकते हैं. I'll get back to you in a bit. So you could see that for us, it took the entire audience and all of your attention for 10 seconds to detect guns, and we still had false positives. False positives मतलब कि gun लगी लेकिन थी नहीं, right? But it took all of you and all of your attention because you wanted to prove me wrong. We don't do that when we're working. We don't want to prove anybody wrong. We just want to go back home. So if you're a security guard and you're sitting and watching this footage and you're looking for guns, what are the odds that you'll actually catch one? Very little. Very, very little. And that's the big problem. That's the big problem. We have so much information out there. We have so many cameras, so much information flowing through our servers, but it's not being used for anything. Crime हो जाता है, shooting हो जाती है, terrorist attack हो जाता है. उसके बाद फुटेज आ जाती है सबके देखने के लिए. किया किसने है वो नहीं पकड़ा जाता. क्यों? वो अपना मुंह छुपा लेता है या गायब हो जाता है. What we can use artificial intelligence for is actually preemptively detecting something and possibly preventing something like this from happen. आप लोगों ने देखा जैसी गन नजर आई उसने अलर्ट भेज दी. Now think of it this way. This is connected to police department. उनको अलर्ट चली गई. वो बंदा अभी जा रहा है. It's connected to the locks on the door. जिस कमरे में वो नजर आया वो कमरे के दरवाजे लॉक हो गए. कितनी ज़्यादा शूटिंग्स होती हैं पाकिस्तान में भी, इंटरनेशनली भी, पूरी दुनिया में. Imagine a gunman enters and immediately दरवाजे लॉक हो गए because the AI detected कि उस बंदे ने गन ड्रॉ किया. AI is helping save lives. AI is helping making our lives better, making our lives more efficient. ये तो सिक्योरिटी का हो गया. हेल्थ केयर में इतनी एप्लीकेशंस हैं उसकी. उसके अलावा हमारी डेली लाइफ में इतनी एप्लीकेशंस हैं. आप लोग बहुत फेमिलियर हैं लाहौर ई चलान सिस्टम. पहले एक वार्डन 5 मिनट में या 10 मिनट में एक गाड़ी को चलान लिखता था. अब एक कैमरा 1000 गाड़ियों को चलान भेज देता है. दिस इज ऑल आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. एंड उसका रिजल्ट क्या है? ट्रैफिक फ्लो बेहतर हो रहा है, ट्रैफिक क्वालिटी बेहतर हो रही है, लोगों की लाइव्स बेहतर हो रही हैं, आप लोग ऑफिस जल्दी पहुंचते हो, आप लोग क्लास से मिस नहीं करते. यू नो, सो बेसिकली आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज एनीवेज remaining is anyways helping us every single day. So there's 3 things that I need to cover very quickly. The first is that the future is artificial intelligence का ज़माना already शुरू हो गया है. हमारे आसपास हर जगह पे already है. इस audience में I would have been happy अगर सब लोग कहते हैं कि हमने AI के साथ कुछ ना कुछ काम किया है. Because that is where we need to be. That is what the future needs to be. Artificial intelligence is the future. And it's already begun. बहुत सारी चीज़ें अभी मोशन में सेट हुई हैं जो कि अगले 5-10 सालों में मैच्योर हो जाएंगी. एंड अगर हम अभी स्टार्ट नहीं करेंगे हम पीछे रह जाएंगे. We will be the left behinds. And yeah, we're already behind. मतलब दुनिया में रिसर्चर्स साइंटिस्ट क्या क्या कुछ नहीं कर रहे. मतलब कितनी एप्लीकेशंस आ गई हैं. पाकिस्तान में कोई एक स्टार्टअप मुझे बताएं जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के ऊपर खुद काम कर रहा है. येस देयर इज इंटरनेशनल कंपनीज जिनके ऑफिसेज यहाँ पे हैं, लेकिन कौन सा ऐसा स्टार्टअप है जो कि खुद आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस यूज़ कर रहा है? बेयरली एनी. कोई भी नहीं कर रहा. ये बहुत कम लोग कर रहे हैं और कर भी रहे हैं तो बहुत छोटे स्केल पे कर रहे हैं. वी नीड टू as a community, as a Pakistani community, we need to dive into this because this is actually what's going to change the world. It's already changing the world. हम पीछे रह गए हैं. The good thing is though, like it's not all grim. The good thing is that there are ways that we can catch up. One of which is basically Google. TensorFlow is a Google product. It is basically a resource that is available to all of you, even right now, on your phones, on your laptops, over the cloud. Basically, you can use it, write a few lines of code, and you can have your own AI application running. And I'll tell you that it's actually possible. It's not just words. Just record की थी, experiment. I gave myself a problem. How many people crossed the screens? कितने लोग गुजरे थे cameras के through? अगर मैं आप सबको ये task दूँ गिनने के लिए, तो वो take you time to watch each and every single video and count the number of people. With TensorFlow, it took me 5 to 10 minutes to literally copy code from their own documentation, change a few things that I wanted, and I was able to get results. This is actually some of the code, but we'll skip that for now. It is less than 100 lines of code, most of which was copy-pasted, remember. This is the result that I got. So basically, all the black boxes are what the AI sees as persons, and then it models them. So I can be talking to you, and the artificial intelligence in the back is counting the number of people that have crossed through the screens. Now imagine this running day and night. आप सो जाओ, आप relax करो. At the end of the day, you just come and check कि जी क्या updates हैं. That's the beauty of artificial intelligence, that you don't have to be mentally present. पहले हम robots, गाड़ियाँ, ये हमारा manual labor हमसे ले गई हैं. But now, using artificial intelligence, हम अपना mental labor भी कम कर सकते हैं. We need to start thinking about applications of AI. आप में से कितने लोग किसी startup पे काम कर रहे हैं, अपना startup? 1, 2, okay, that's a decent number. आप लोगों ने सोचा है कि हम अपने product में AI को किस तरह include कर सकते हैं? AI एक बहुत बड़ा word लगता है. It seems like there's a lot of weight to it. It seems like ये कोई बहुत ही मुश्किल कोई K2 फतह करने की चीज़ है. But it's not. With technologies like TensorFlow, it is so simple that you can actually go home right now, you can hack some code together, and you can have an artificially intelligent software up and running. So yeah, the answer to that was 81 persons. The AI counted 81 people. कोई filters नहीं लगाए मैंने उस पे, but generally the number of people that passed by cameras was 81. I didn't have to count them because TensorFlow did it for me. That's it for now. If you have any questions, I don't think we have time for that. If you do, I'd love questions. Otherwise, we do have time? Okay, so we do have time if you have questions. Just one question. इतने सारे लोग हैं. अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा question किसके पास है? बहुत next level सवाल. अच्छा, थोड़ा सा tone down कर दें. बहुत next level नहीं, थोड़ा सा अच्छा. Yeah. Okay, so one of the
What happens?
Okay, so his question
we're going out of jobs, man.
So basically, ये तो वो बात होगी कि पहले any new technology that comes, it replaces certain jobs. जब गाड़ियाँ आई तो घोड़े पुराने हो गए, camels पुराने हो गए. जब जहाज आए तो गाड़ियाँ पुरानी होना शुरू हो गई. You know, the thing is, every new development that comes, yes, it gets rid of some jobs. However, it also creates a lot of jobs. अब आप ये देखो, AI खुद नहीं बनेगी. ये जो सारे लोग बैठे हुए हैं, imagine करो ये सारे AI engineers हैं. You know, now they will have jobs for the future. They have jobs today. लोग आजकल AI engineers ढूंढ रहे हैं, and we don't have enough good engineers. Do you have a question? Okay. Yes.
What you have actually
Okay, so
invested in,
yeah.
as we see in movies, like
Okay, yeah.
robots
So
gone
one of
wrong
the
and, like,
so this is actually very common. A lot of people are afraid because they've seen the movie Terminator, they've seen the movie iRobot, they've seen movies जहाँ पे AI basically दुनिया के ऊपर take over कर लेती है, humanity को मार लेती है. A lot of them, ठीक है? Basically, the thing is, of course, that's a possibility. But think of a knife, right? A knife. आप लोग एक छुरी से क्या करते हो? सुबह अपने लिए सेब काटते हो, फिर आप वो सेब enjoy करते हो. एक और बंदा उसी छुरी से जाके किसी की गर्दन काट देता. Any piece of technology that comes into existence has its goods and has its bads. Nuclear energy देख लो. It could power entire cities or it could demolish entire cities. It's all about how it's used. Yes, this kind of power in the wrong hands can be bad, but dua karo aise na ho. But generally, the benefits far exceed the possible things that can go wrong. So just because we're scared of something that might happen, like in the Silicon Valley, this is a very common statement, this is a problem. This is like being worried about overpopulation in Mars. कि हाँ हम लोग कॉलोनाइज करना चाह रहे हैं मार्स को और हम अभी से परेशान हो रहे हैं कि वहाँ पे ओवर पॉपुलेशन हो जाएगी तो क्या AI is very far from that point कि जहाँ पे वर्ल्ड डोमिनेशन हो जाए बट जस्ट बिकॉज दैट इज़ अ पॉसिबल फ्यूचर डजंट मीन कि हम उसके सारे बेनिफिट्स को इग्नोर कर जाएं और हम बस बैठे रहें बिकॉज इस वक्त जिस तरह से टेक्नोलॉजी इवॉल्व हो रही है जिस तरह से पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है जिस तरह से प्रॉब्लम्स बढ़ रहे हैं ज़िंदगी में artificial intelligence can help make things better for us. It can improve our lives and basically make us live happier, healthier lives. My name is Salman Hijazi. Thank you so much for your time. You can find me anywhere with this handle. Thank you so much.